Hi guys, Peter Finch here and welcome down to Finch Friday, which is most definitely on a Saturday night, hopefully. I completely messed up the filming of this yesterday. I've been doing this for a number of years now and I am still rubbish at times, but what I'm hopefully going to do is I've got a gap between lessons now on the Saturday, get this done, edited, uploaded for tonight, so fingers crossed. But it's the first Q&A of the year. Loads of questions have come in, so I'm going to get through 5 that hopefully I've not answered before and answer them forthwith. So first question here from Colin Scully 2812. Am I right to wait and hold out to get irons for under €200 and risk getting an older used set? Risk. So there's something about that just doesn't quite sound right. So rather than thinking about risking of getting a set for under €200, how about actively thinking about the best set that you can get for under €200 or £200, $200, whatever it may be? Because there are so many good clubs out there at the moment, yes, but from 10 years ago there are some amazing iron sets still floating around. So rather than looking at it as a risk, look at it as an opportunity to investigate and come up with new clubs that you can use. The only thing that you need to think about, certainly with a new set of irons when you're getting a used set, is are they going to be fit correctly for you? Because when you get a used set, they may have been fitted for someone else, they may come a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, whatever it may be. So you need to make sure of that before you buy the clubs. But having said that, let's say you get a used set of clubs. If you get yourself fitted beforehand by a proper fitter, they may charge you for that, which may cost you an extra €50, for example. If you know your specs, you can get a cheap set of second-hand clubs, which is still decent quality, and then get them bent or get them lofted and lied and whatever you want to do with them to the specs that you got fitted for. So this isn't just like a one option. You don't have to get new clubs to get them properly fitted into your specs. Use it as that opportunity. Shop around, see what you can find. So a question here from _Mark.Kelly_. Will big retail brands like American Golf start taking over or sponsoring pro shops in golf clubs? Sometimes pro shops prices are too high and have not got all the new gear in. #Finch Friday. So listen, I'm a PJ pro, so I'm always going to say support your local pro, your green grass pro at your golf club, because they are an invaluable part of the golf community. And I sometimes feel that golf clubs don't quite appreciate the role that a pro does. I think sometimes they look at a pro as having a bit of an easy life. You know, they're running a shop, they're working in golf, they're employing a few assistants, that type of thing. But I know so many hard-working pros who are slogging their guts out trying to make the best of what they have. And they need the support of their members to try and survive. On the flip side of this, I also know quite a lot of miserable PGA pros who do not make the effort to establish that relationship with members of their golf club. Because I think that's what this comes down to. I mean, if you're in the market to buy new golf clubs, for example, and you're considering who to buy from, if your pro has put in the work and developed a strong relationship with you, if you trust him and if he trusts his membership, he will still get members coming into him for those new clubs, even if they do have to pay just that little bit more. But I'm not an idiot. I understand the price argument. If you can get a new driver at American Golf, for example, for £200, whereas your pro is charging 250, you're going to take that into consideration. But this is what I would ask. Go into your pro and ask him, first of all, if he can price match or if he can do any deals on anything else. Because the fact is that when pros get clubs in, the margin on clubs is rubbish. Now, I used to work in a pro shop, and the margin that the pros make is in golf balls, it's in accessories, it's in clothing. That's where they're going to make their money. That's where they can make a living. So when you go to an American Golf and when they're selling it for much cheaper, they may have bought in bulk, got a slight discount on that, but also they may just be using them as loss leaders to get people in that store and to upsell them onto other stuff. So ask your pro, try and get a discount. And if you are a pro, get that relationship with your members, make them feel like you're their friend, and you should be. You know, you're working at a golf club. You are working in an environment which at times can be stressful, but trust me, I've now worked outside golf and inside golf, and it is a blessing to be in this sport. Can I get the rallying cry going? to the streets, bros. A very club-orientated Finch Friday, this. The Nosh, I'm worried about clubs becoming too expensive. It's getting worse every year. So if you're looking to get new clubs, you've got to understand that companies are going to put a premium on them. They're going to pump out the marketing. They're going to get people excited to test out these clubs and to buy them. And that's the way it's always been. I mean, bear in mind when the ERC driver, I think, came out from Callaway, I think that was 500 quid. And that was what? God, how long ago was that now? 15 years ago, something like that. And people bought it. It was a massively expensive product at that time, but people bought it because of the marketing, because of the perceived value in that with the improvements that it made. And to be fair to that, over current models at the time, that was an advancement. But if you look at the new crop of drivers specifically, which is coming out, you've got the new M3, the M4, which are going to be right at the top end. You've got pretty much every manufacturer that brings out new drivers puts that price right at the top end. And if you don't want to spend the money on that driver, then don't spend it on the driver. If as consumers, everyone says, listen, I'm not going to be paying that much for a driver anymore, then the driver price will drop. It's as simple as that. The companies aren't going to keep continuing to bring out very expensive products that no one buys because they're going to go out of business. But if you want that new driver and those prices are high, then you're going to have to put your hand in your pocket and pay for it. So a question here, and I do get this question a few times, I've not really answered it yet. Do you have to be a great golfer who can compete in global events at the age of 15 to become pro? Or is it possible to become that good later and still become a great playing pro? Now, I get this question a lot from junior golfers who are looking to make a career in golf. That was from Carl_0204. At the end of the day, the standard in amateur golf is getting higher and higher and higher. And you see that when players come out of the England system, certainly here over in the UK, and I'm sure it's the same in the college system in the US. Well, it is the same in the college system in the US. Players are coming out of those systems and they are ready for tour already. They are already tour level players. They just make that move and that seamless transition into that environment. Now, this is a lot different than it used to be. Players made their way onto tour. It did take them quite a while to get acquainted with it because the standard was so much better. That gap it's just not there anymore. So if you can be an incredible player at 15, then you're going to stand a better chance of progressing onto tour quickly. That's obvious enough. But here's the thing, you can take up golf at a young age, and maybe you take it up at 13, at 14. And if you work your absolute nuts off, then yes, you can become a great player. I do not believe that people have a set amount of natural talent. I just don't think that exists. People can certainly have physical limitations and physical gifts. For example, if you grow up to be 7'4" and you're pretty quick, the chances are you could be a good basketball player. If you are 5'2", you're not going to make it in the NBA anymore because the standard has got so high and the players are all absolutely bloody massive. Well, most of them are. I mean, Steph Curry is not super huge. But if you want something, it just comes down to work ethic. If you're a kid, you are 14, 15 years old and you want to be a tour pro, you've got to understand that for the next few years, you've just got to absolutely punt everything else. Don't watch TV, put the PlayStation down, don't stand on the street corner drinking cider like I used to do. You can't afford to do that. Time is the commodity that you have to be most sensitive with. So if you are a young golfer and you want to make it on tour, you are 14, you are 15, and you may have been playing for a little bit, you're hovering around the mid-teens handicap. It's just about spending every available spare moment that you have practicing your ass off. Every summer, get yourself down to the golf club if you can. And certainly over here in the UK, certainly around in the Northwest, you can get some great junior memberships for very cheap. Literally spend all summer at the golf club, playing, practicing, trying to get lessons, trying to improve, be there at dawn, leave at sunset, put the work in. If you go into school and your school starts at 9, get up at 5. That's the reality. If you want it that much, then you will put the work in. What is wrong with me? I don't know why I'm speaking like this. It's like a pretty motivational speak. And this is the last question I'm going to answer. And again, it's kind of a multi-question. There's loads of people asking this. I think it's just New Year. People are looking at their golf balls. So what is the best golf ball to use? And there's lots of questions about golf balls for different handicap levels. So the first thing to say is I'm using at the moment, that was one of the questions, the TP5 ball, which is a low spinning ball, which is good for me because I do generate quite a lot of spin, especially on the driver. But for everyone else, it's a very similar answer to getting fitted for clubs. If you can get yourself fit for the golf ball, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, to do that, you'll need a pro who's got a launch monitor, and you'll need a pro who has access to golf balls that you want to test and try. Now, I understand that it's not feasible to go out and buy a dozen balls of everything. Well, you can do if you want to spend all your money on that. But at the top end, the premium end of the ball market, you've got like the Pro V1s, which are very, very, very good, but very expensive. And you've got stuff like the Chrome Soft, for example, Callaway, fantastic ball at a cheaper price. You've got the TP5s, you've got the Srixon balls, the Z-Stars and all that type of stuff. The premium end of the market, there's loads of good options there. Then when you go to the mid-range balls, again, the Srixons, the Titleist, the Callaways, everyone's got so many balls out, it's unbelievably good. I would say that a lot of golfers underappreciate the middle. So they underappreciate your NXT Tours, your AD 333s, your soft feels from Srixon. There's so many different Titleist balls within that section. Your Callaways. That middle section is populated with so many quality golf balls that not a lot of players are trying out. And there's also quite a few questions about high handicap golfers, what balls they should use, if it's worth using a premium ball. And a lot of it comes down to ability at this current moment in time, and I think this time of year, because at the end of the day, especially here at the moment in time in the Northwest, a Pinnacle is going to plug in the fairway just as much as a Pro V is. So in the winter, if you want to use crappier balls, that's not going to be a massive issue. But I think as far as ability level goes, if you can afford to play with a Pro V1, if you can afford to buy that and lose quite a few, then by all means go for it, because they are at the top end of the market. They are a better ball than a Pinnacle, for example. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching the first Finch Friday of 2018. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on my other social media platforms, which are all linked in the description below. And we'll see you down here next time. Comment below everything that we've spoken about. Love to know your thoughts, as always.